Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Bible Study Minute. Today we're taking a look at Luke chapter 9, verses 10 through 62. And this is a very rapidly moving chapter. There are a lot of events going on, everything from Jesus feeding the 5,000 to healing people of their diseases, casting out demons, to the transfiguration in the middle of all this, as well as predicting his death and resurrection a couple of times. And it would be too much for us to try to unpack all of that in a single video. So there are a couple of verses that really stand out to me as I read this passage. The first one is where Jesus is talking about how to follow after him. So he tells us to deny ourselves, pick up our cross daily, and to follow after him. And he makes it very clear that this is what you have to do to follow after him. And we see that it first requires submission to God, then laying aside our own goals and ambitions, to picking up God's plans and purposes, and then following after God in doing those things. And Jesus also makes it very clear that this is a daily decision that we are making. It's not just something that we make one time, but every single morning when we wake up and our feet hit the ground, we have to choose to deny ourselves and to follow after God and his purposes. And then the second thing is when Jesus is talking about his death and resurrection for the second time. And Luke gives us a side note here, and he tells us that this was concealed from the disciples and they were kept from understanding it. And this is comforting because in a lot of cases when you read the scriptures, especially the Gospels, you kind of think that the disciples are a little bit thick and dense for not understanding the very clear things that Jesus is talking about. But Luke is saying, no, God kept them from understanding this until the time that he wanted them to understand it. And that's helpful for us as believers because when we read scripture, there may be things that we don't understand in the given time. But as we come back to it again and study it more and more, then God reveals the proper understanding for us in the time that he wants us to understand it. So those are the two things that really stand out to me is one, what it takes to follow after God, and two, knowing that God will reveal his truth to us in his time. And both of those are very comforting things for us as believers. So that's what I want to leave you with today. Until next time, grace and peace.